Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. How y'all doing? And
you have reached area code 313.
All my live niggas in the 313.
hey, what's going on out there, y'all? Shout out to my man DJ Los.
DJ Los.
There you go. Shout out to my man DJ Los. It's 313. I mean, it spoke for itself. You know, I'm your host. I go by New, just simple NEW. And yeah, that's where we coming from right now. We coming from the 313. Born and raised on the corner of Webb and Tuxedo. There used to be a little hospital over there. I wonder if anybody else out there, born in that hospital. It's a lot, it's Detroit. I mean, can you? There's a lot of people from Detroit, but were you actually born in Detroit? I was actually born in Detroit, and that's where we coming out from. That's where we doing this from. Again, I'm your host. I'd like to welcome to No Fan Sports Podcast. Let me see here. Hold on, wait a minute. Is that on there? No, I don't want that. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Again, just welcome you to No Fan Sports Podcast. I go by New, just simple NEW. And I'm gonna try to keep this, man. Every time I get on here, I keep saying I'm trying to monitor, kind of keep it short and sweet. But you get to talking, I get to talking or whatever, and I'm very passionate about what it is that that I'll be talking about. So let me, and while we at it, let me get these things out the way, because it's it was very interesting, to say the least. I mean, both as far as the NFL goes and the college football playoff committee, college football playoff, they committee, man. I mean, wow. I really had a problem with that. I don't know about you all. I can tell you some history about Florida State playing against the University of Michigan. But not to say that they were going to play them, but I did feel that Florida State should have got to bid. We'll get to that, in a moment. But let me do this real quick. Okay. No Fan Sports Podcast is providing this podcast as a public service, but it is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of No Fan Sports Podcast policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by No Fan Sports Podcast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity that they represent. Views and opinions expressed by myself are those of my own and do not necessarily reflect the view of No Fan Sports Podcast or any of its officials. And also fair use disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. No nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And man, if y'all get down with me, if you get down with me, go over on No Fan. I think it's idontspeakfangroupieslappy on Facebook. Hit the like button. Go over to what is it? At No Fan TV 20 on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Get at me. That mission statement should be sitting over there. And the mission statement just when I first started doing this, podcasting thing. It was well before it's gotten in, when I tried to do it at the beginning. I went and purchased one of those podcasting for dummies books and everything like that. But anyway, what I'm seeking, even till to this day, man, I'm just seeking dialogue without the fan affair, without the love affair. No fan. Okay, so that's what we believe of no fan. The definition is up there, but it also says that no fan is a group. No fan is a fan groupie slappy free zone. We at No Fan are dedicated not just to the analytics, metrics, and statistics that are part of any given sport, but also the non-measurables that doesn't get recognized on the stat sheet. Things like heart, mental tenacity, drive, and hunger, etc., etc., as well as being able to understand the difference between athleticism versus actual skills and fundamentals, instead of being caught like a deer in the headlights, as you all over his or her physical gifts from above. Yeah, that's a fan. No, we don't do that here. We speak of X's and O's that many of you mistake for hate. And I have to keep, I got to do this. I mean, that's what this is about. But anyway, let's get into week 13. Week 13. This was a great week. Like I said from the beginning, man, and several other podcasts. This has been a great season to me. And I like this season a lot because it's like, when we came into this, you had your favorites out there naturally, your Buffaloes and teams like that, San Francisco, Philly, been there, Kansas City. But we had some interesting turns of events. You had teams that went on like some strong runs during the tail end of the season. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, and coming in with high expectations. They come in with them high expectations, and what you got was they came out like a lion. They on a tear. I think they 8-3 or whatever the case may be. Got a little tough, somewhat what I thought initially should have been a breeze through the park, but there's some teams out there that's kind of finding their way right about now. Speaking of teams that's finding their way, FSU and the college football program playoff or whatever. But anyway, Chicago, Green Bay, Chicago, I think they beat Chicago first, but yes, they played them tough. Chicago and Green Bay, which I know I did. I felt those was like some, those was 4 victories they could have counted, without any hesitation, and I was even counting the 2 in Minnesota because I felt that Minnesota was on a rebuild. Minnesota's been playing different. They played different with Kirk Cousins, showed us something totally different from what a rebuild looked like. And then they brought in my man Dobbs. He had a bad game last week, but outside of that, his previous 6 weeks up until that point, the young man's been playing solid. So you have Minnesota in the thick of things too, just as well. So it's not necessarily going to just be a walk in the park, it seems like now. And in hindsight, that's one of the reasons why I think this season's been so exciting, because like I said, I'm born and raised here. I'm not really a Detroit Lion fan, but it is exciting to see this potential opportunity that may be presented to them, as long as they hold fast. Where's this thing at? Give me 1 second. Okay, we got that. Yeah. Man, so I had all this stuff pulled up prior to, but you know how that go. Things come up missing. Where's this at? All right, give me 1 second. I'm on you. And what division was that over there in the AFC? The AFC had a division. Was it the Ravens division? Was that the East or whatever? For a minute there, we were looking at potentially. You had the it kind of still are, in so many ways. I mean, they still are, but where's this thing? And I hate when I do this. I hate when we do this. Oh, it's just okay. There we go. We go find a division. What division is that? Oh, it's the AFC North. AFC North. So you had Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Its quarterback changes in 3 of those 4 teams. Lamar's still healthy, fortunately for them. Cleveland called in Joe Falco. Cincinnati just won with they backup Brownie, and Cleveland called Falco, and I'm not sure who's going to be replacing my man Pickett over there in Pittsburgh as of yet. But that was a potential first where, I don't know if it was a first, but all 4 teams was expected to make to the playoffs. So it's been just so many things, and then you had the quarterbacks going down and different things like that. Philadelphia just got washed by San Francisco. Now I was talking to my son earlier today, and he had mentioned to me that Philly was coming off of something like they had played 2 games in 13 days or something like that. So not making any excuses, because I think the 49ers are Super Bowl contenders. You got to go through San Francisco one way or the other. I think their stadium's called Levi. You may have to go to Levi, or if you can get them to come to use, but you still got to, I think for the most part, the way I'm feeling from what I'm seeing, that's one of the teams you have to, in order to get to the big dance, that's one of the teams you got to deal with. I count them in. Okay. Also count Philly, count the Cowboys, and the Lions make a strong case right now. But they got what I thought originally was going to be a nice little walk through the park. Potentially right now they're looking at some danger. They looking at just a little bit of danger there, But like I said, that's one of the reasons why. And then we don't even have to discuss Buffalo. Was a front runner. With they 6-6. What's their playoff? What the playoff picture look like for them right now? Hold on. Let me get this playoff picture. So over there in the AFC right now, Dolphins, if the season ended today, Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs. But again, they had to change that. The Chiefs just touched the air. I don't know if they replaced this over the past day. But where's that? Where they at? The Bills right now on the bubble at 6-6. And this was one of the teams that that a lot of people had projections or predictions that was going had the capabilities and had the team strong enough to go to the Super Bowl. They were one of the picks. Out there. I like Buffalo. Buffalo's a pretty, they got all the tools. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not gonna put everything on Josh. Like I said before, he modern day Brett Favre as far as I'm concerned. But they were one of the chosen teams, and that's one of the reasons. Also, a reason why I say that this particular season has been so exciting, because we got front runners walking out the door that pretty much mutually everybody agreed upon. Us YouTubers, podcasters, the professionals on other levels, and a lot of people out there, not even just Bill fans, expected a lot of them this year. So that's what makes the season so exciting. It's a lot of stuff out there. The Cowboys, Eagles, we will see. We will see. So I enjoyed this past week 13. Looking forward to 14, and I'm just excited. It's winding down now, so we go see who's who. Big game for Cowboys, Philadelphia. I think that's the Sunday night game. They coming up this weekend. That's a big game. Cowboys, I think 8-3 now. Philadelphia is 10-3, 10-2. Oh my goodness, it's getting kind of cute right there. But aside for that, we had a terrible weekend this weekend. Oh my goodness, we had a terrible weekend when as far as college football is concerned, and in my humble opinion, they dropped the ball so blatantly. Um, when when the college football playoff at first came on, I forget what year that was, whatever, but automatically off rip, to me, the understanding of the playoff, to creating the college playoff, was to provide a more level-minded, shall I say, approach to giving the underdog or opportunity, equal opportunity, should I say. I mean, basically, that's what that was about, equal opportunity. To equal opportunity to all schools, all parties involved. And from its inception, I always felt that they should have at least had, from the beginning, as far as I'm concerned, it should have been 12 teams. You got your top tier teams, which would probably run from like 1 through 4 to 6. Your middle tier, then you had your last, 4 teams or so, bringing up the rear. But everybody got a chance. Everybody has a chance. This is the reason why you wanted those chosen schools, because it's a possibility that no matter what, they're giving you an equal opportunity to try to chase that dream. So you're looking at a Power 5 in Florida State. They won out, but unfortunately, when it came to, I think when the AP vote came out, Michigan, Washington, I think Florida State came in at 4. So it'd be Michigan, Washington, I think Texas, and then Florida State. I think that's how they did it. The AP poll went, but they, went back in there, and when the people who, whose votes really count, when they came back out, they came out with what you had today: Michigan number 1, Washington number 2, number 3 going in at Texas, and 4 Bama. And the funny part about this too, though, that now that I'm thinking about it, and this is no slight to them, but at what point did they really feel Washington was strong enough to be ranked, in the top, let alone necessarily being number 2, but in the top 4? I truly don't think we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, so they up there. So Michigan win, Washington win, it's pretty much automatic at that particular point. But now you got the gray area. So you got your Florida State, and the biggest thing at that particular point, now I'm thinking Florida State is in, and you bring in your fourth team. And that's the debate, I think, on the best one-loss team out there. Georgia just took 1 L from Alabama. I'm having a hard time understanding how you can leapfrog Alabama from number 8 to number 4. They jumped 4 places up. They lost to Texas. But the real simple way, and I didn't even think about this when it came out. Okay, so now you go, now you take, I got to get Bama in there, but if I can't leapfrog Bama over Ohio State, Texas, and we lost to Texas, and who else was it? I can't think of it right now. But anyway, you leapfrog them over them. So the clever thing to do was, because as far as I'm concerned, Alabama, no matter they did get the win over Georgia, they still shouldn't be able to leap in front of Texas. So they covered that. They covered it by allowing Alabama and Texas to be a part of this. Clever. I didn't even think about that until after it happened. But it's still bogus. Alabama don't belong. Okay. I think the university got screwed. I think the student athletes got screwed. And I want to shout out. I'm not sure. I can't think of the young man's name, but the young man is playing quarterback for him now after they what's my man's name? It's just pissing me off. FSU. Let me see. Hold on. Jordan Travis having a phenomenal year. Naturally, your quarterback is the leader of the team. He goes down due to injury. I understand they got a freshman working around in there. Their wins haven't been pretty since Jordan went down. I get all that, but they still remained undefeated. So now we're going to, what's the whole purpose of having a playoff if you not go put the playoff? To me, was to, when they first initiated it, going from the coaches poll and the AP poll, how they used to vote on it back in the day or whatever. It was to give the opportunities to those that was, just open up more opportunity for those that may not be there, but they somewhere there, but still give them a chance. That's the whole thing for the playoff. But instead, they picking and choosing who belong. You even heard some of the absurd, to me, which was so absurd. How can you leave a SEC team out of the playoff? I'm like, how do when did it become an onus that it had to be like that? That was the problem that I had with it initially, off rip, from when they started it. Yet and still, they found a beautiful way to do it. So instead of letting a power five undefeated team that's wounded, in, and no matter what's that young lady name? Let me pull her name up. I want to get it correct. She wrote a real nice article on for ESPN. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I'll give people they do. What's her name? And what's so crazy too? I just seen it. Was it Governor Santos in Florida? He didn't drop the meal on the heads, like for the for the lawsuit. Anybody want to go in there? He got a meal for him. The state of Florida got a meal to try to correct this wrong. And I get it, because I'm like, how you skip over undefeated part? I'm a student, coach, athlete, resident, whatever. I'm pissed too. And it's been Florida State and had some lean years since their yesteryears. Okay, so they was excited, just to even get somewhat within the picture of that. So, if we still picking and choosing it with the college football playoff, and it's not, even though as much as they try to make it seem like it was on merit, effort, but a lot of stuff that I was hearing, a lot of the root words that I was hearing from the lack of the quarterback, they starting quarterback being down, is it was about numbers and the possibility of, it was a numbers game. Okay. But my question is this: how do you think that young man feel, the one that's substituting, the one that's playing in my man Jordan's place? And basically, they all sitting in the locker room, and they waiting for the committee to speak so they can find out their destiny. That's what they sitting in the locker room trying to find their destiny. And they speak. They sitting there waiting, trying to find their destiny. And then you hear, huh? I mean, Look, the fact that FSU was undefeated, I just new blood brings in revenue just like old blood. You got some new blood, a new adversary, a new good guy, a new villain. It's gonna bring the money in there. But we can't play with our SEC team. Oh my goodness. They need to get away from that. And like I said again, you what is the message that you send to this young man as a freshman? And I'm sure he feeling like got the world on his shoulders, because see, now it's like, because the country has recognized the fact that they have to rely on you. They put all the onus on you, a young 18-year-old freshman. And no matter how big your confidence was or is, you had some, had a rough, didn't do a great deal of exciting things. And then they drop that on your shoulders. I don't get it. But her name is Heather Dinich. She's a senior writer for ESPN. Beautiful article. No need for me reading no clips of it. You go check it out yourself. And she breaks down the ideology that they had when they made the selections. Even though we know this has been an unprecedented situation as regards to how you left this Power Five off undefeated for the sake of who. I've seen, and naturally social media go killing. You got the memes out there. They getting paid. Somebody getting paid, to do something, which makes absolutely no sense. I just feel sorry for, and the governor got a meal out for the lawsuit bill. He said he got a meal out there, if they want to pursue their innocence. You know what I'm saying? So this got serious. Hey, the governor say he got a meal for anybody who want to pursue charges on him. I mean, and I'm laughing, but that's he a politician. That's a cold ploy, because they did. I got attitude about it too, and I ain't even from there. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I'm a two-fister. Oh. Yeah, they man, did they fool, man, they F.U.B.A.R'd. They F.U.B.A.R'd Florida State. And then they asked Deion. Deion gave a nice little, man, he gave a nice little middle of the road answer, but they fleeced him, dude. Man, that's as far as I'm concerned, it's unforgivable. I'm destroyed. I'm destroyed. It makes absolutely, positively no sense. But we gonna see what happens. Michigan ends up with Alabama. Washington plays they plays Texas. May the best man win. May the best man win. Now I like to that's crazy, man. Where's Give me a second here. I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh shit, that's not what I was looking for. As a mate, when you try to do stuff on the fly and you ain't that fly, you try to do stuff on the fly, you ain't that fly, and you pull that move and that move don't work right. That's what I'm going through right now. I'm trying to pull that move and it ain't working right. And I just had it, you know. I just had it. There we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Again, I'd like to welcome you to last part of the show. We stay on code no matter what, and we always keep it a buck. Okay. And man, it's some that's not what I wanted to hear. It's some cats out here in the in the industry, the podcast industry, and they talk about, you know, I didn't know nothing about this until I started doing it, but you mentioned certain people name and different things like that. They feel like you're trying to clout chase to help build up your brand and your channels and different things like that. And I didn't really understand that initially when you had artists, YouTubers, or what they call them, I forget they call it, whatever the terminology they use and whatever. And you get a lot of people out there, and it's a catchy, the name and or the way the titles and different things like this. A hustle, it's a game, and I get it. I get it. But it was a situation. My man Cam Newton interviewed Charleston White. You see that? You see that behind me? Okay, so this is what I rock with. If you haven't seen the video, the first time I caught wind of it, someone sent me a snippet, and did I mention his name? It was interview Charleston White, Cam Newton interviewing Charleston White. Again, people send me stuff, and there's some cats out there in the world that do this. Even some that it's a couple people that I watch, and they actually had a beef for a minute between one another, and they squashed it live on YouTube or whatever on the internet or whatever for everybody to see, which was beautiful. And it's another cat that I rock with that be real controversial and comes off and may rub a lot of people the wrong way. And I would love for all these people to meet one another to get in the same room, because they're chasing the same. My man Dr. Claude Anderson put a book together and showed a platform where Black people had to have their own, stages of government and this, that, and the other thing, to get these things resolved, So you like seeing all of that, That's the whole thing. You want to see all of that. Why is this thing acting like that? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. So, again, my man Cam, he come on there. He got his podcast and he interviews my man Charleston White. And when I was talking about them influencers, man, I added a lot of them to my bucket list. I'm not clout chasing. If anyone was to see this and figure out who I was speaking on, maybe one day I will mention those names. But you know, I'm with them, and their message need to be heard, and it should be comfortable. It should be comfortable for anyone to listen to it whenever they felt like it, and not be ostracized. Okay, that's the whole thing with that. So, you know, Cam interviewed the cat Charleston White, and I think, man, Cam, you know, he in his own thing. You know, I think he, you know, he in that Hollywood and kind of caught a hold to him. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make an expression, but anyway, I'm not sure if he thought he was gonna be able to handle my man Charleston White, or he had some relevant comeback to him. But you know, Charleston White went in there and gave it to him, and he was talking to him the whole while Cam trying to push the agenda he was pushing and try to twist it, you know, the not necessarily anger, but my man Charleston White did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job. He stood fast, you know, had rebuttals for everything that he, you know, that was brought before him. All of them. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Cam, if you haven't seen it, and the majority of it was about, you know, Cam had a real issue with my man Charleston saying fuck Deion, you know, and basically the people he rock with and all that. And when do we get space without being penalized for that space? But at the end of the day, Cam, brother, I love you to death. Don't bring him back on there. He ate you up, dude. Charleston ate you up. And he did it on the love of his people. He said he was ready to die for what to come out of his mouth, man. Ooh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. We go dive deeper into that a little bit later. I mean, on the sidebar beyond this No Fan Sports podcast, you know, just talking about sports. I go by New, just simple NEW. If you get a chance, check this out, or if you haven't checked it out, you come in, you know, let us know, drop a remark in there, let us know that you was a day late and $1 short. We can talk again. I started doing this, trying to get some regular dialogue without all the fan and love affair with these particular athletes, whether it be male or female, to just talk about the sports, not just the analytics, the stuff that you can put on paper, but also the stuff that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I got a sixth sense too. You know, at one show, he said he see dead people. I can see heart. You know, I can see a player, you know, an athlete. I recognize these things, you know. So that and we want to talk about those things. You know, that offensive lineman that made that key block that you don't see, don't really get the chance to dance in the end zone, and that kind of stuff. We talk about all that. That love affair that you have with whomever, or that does whatever, just leave that. Can we have open dialogue? What they say, your favorite rapper got a favorite rapper. If you understand what I'm saying. Your favorite rapper got a favorite rapper. All right? And we need to keep that same ideology when we out here talking about these particular athletes that we talk about. Okay? Ain't no hate. It's just, you know, I got my favorites. And I can critique them too just as well. Okay? Get a chance, go over to No Fan, at No Fan TV 20. Hit the like and subscribe button. That's over there at YouTube. We running here on StreamYard, and we go keep making it do what it do. The FSU thing, man, that was just straight criminal, man. Some heads need to roll beyond that. Yeah, it's just senseless. Georgia took on one loss. How many people was they missing? Was they missing somebody? Wasn't two of their key players out this year? The tight end, what's that young man name? Since when did we start doing that? Okay. Since when we start doing that? I go by New, man. It's real simple. Get at me, man. We gonna talk. I'm almost finished with that Bye Bye Berry. We gonna come back and do some Bye Bye Berry. We're gonna have that Bye Bye Berry discussion. And got some other stuff in the works, man. I'll get at y'all later. Peace.